Hello, hello, hello. Here we are. Woo-hoo. So welcome to our very first show. It's our launching show, and I'm honored to have all these beautiful ladies on my channel. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello.
Here we are, babes of storage unit buying. Our very first show. Someone has YouTube on. Honored to have all these beautiful ladies. So, all right, let's see if it's gone. Yep, it's gone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, so boss babes of storage unit buying, and I just want to thank everybody for being here, and I especially want to thank George because this was a crazy idea that I had. These ladies all kind of know each other, or they run into each other's paths. I'm kind of the newbie on the block. Even though I've been doing this for 19 years, I've only been on YouTube for like 7 months. And I went to George. George and I became friends a few months ago. And I went to George and I was like, George, I have an idea. And George was like, I love it. So here we are, our first episode. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll go last. We'll go in order that we're framed. George, you can go first. And I'm sure everybody knows who you are, but why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about you and your channel, and we'll go through everyone and do that.
Okay, I'm George from the channel What the Hales, and I was introduced to storage unit buying through Jeremy Hales, and which is where the channel name came from. His last name is Hales, so it's What the Hales. And so that I went to my very first live auction November 10th. So it's been a year.
Nice.
And been addicted to it ever since. And then I got to meet all you lovely ladies just from networking on YouTube, and all of you ladies do the same thing. So it's nice to know that there's other females in this business, because we all know that it's predominantly male.
Indeed.
For sure. Okay. Thanks,
All right.
George.
Okay, I'm Gina Grimes from Grimes Finds, and y'all probably know Justin more than me, my husband Justin Grimes, and we've been in business for about 5 years with online auctions, and one of the primary ways that we find our product is to buy storage units. So that's what we do, and I'm happy to be here tonight. So thank you for having me.
Okay, I'm Lizzie, aka Little Mama. I wasn't normally called Little Mama, but I call Alex Big Daddy, and he's like, "All right, Little Mama." It's like, it just took. But we've been buying units for about I want to say 5 or 6 years, maybe longer. But we've only been doing YouTube for about a year, so I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for having me.
Hi, I'm Chapo. I'm from Storage Legends. I would say we were buying units for maybe a year and a half, but we've only been on YouTube for about 2 months now. Two roughly. And I buy storage units. Well, actually, my boyfriend buys storage units. His name is Guapo. He goes by Guapo on the YouTube. So, yeah. So that's exciting. And I'm from Ohio. Did we say states? I don't. Okay.
Thanks.
I'm Hannah from Walker Nuts. My husband Jack and I started going to storage auctions about 8 years ago, and that was the first time we ever kind of got the bug and did it for fun here and there. And then about 2 years ago, Jack started doing it a little bit more for full time. That turned into YouTube, and since May, I've kind of helped him out a little and tried to help him because he takes on so much, and I love it. It's fun.
Awesome. And I'm Donna. My real name is Donatella Bottolino, but I go by Donna. My friends all call me Donna. And I bought my first storage unit 19 years ago. I took a break from it for many, many years. I started back just about a year ago. I think I started back. I opened my YouTube channel 7 months ago. I'm very different from the rest of the ladies on the panel. I'm married, 25 years married, to a man I've known since I was 11 years old. And he wants nothing to do with storage unit buying. And he especially doesn't want anything to do with social media. So I'm kind of solo on this, but I love it. I love it. I'm addicted, just like everyone else is. It's great. And I sell my items on auction. I do auctions 3 times a week on my YouTube channel, and they're live auctions that you can come to and bid on. I have a wonderful auctioneer. And she comes on, and her name is T, Auctions for You, and she comes on, and we just go on and peddle our goods. I love it. I love doing it. So yeah, thanks everyone. So I have a few small questions. We're gonna take some questions from the chat, and I have some questions I'm gonna ask the girls, and we'll go through and we'll just answer the questions, I guess, the same way. This is kind of our rookie show, so I think until we kind of get the swing of things and see how things go and what works best for us, we'll just do it like this, right? So, okay, ladies. So my first question, and I'll go first, I'll answer it, and then we'll go to George. Do you prefer online auctions or do you prefer live auctions? And if you want to give a reason why for either one, that would be great. So I'll go first. I prefer to do online auctions. Like right now, I'm currently bidding on about 15 units. I do that every week. I go in and I throw bids on anything that looks interesting to me. And then at the end of the week, I'll probably end up winning 1 or 2. And I'm good with that. I don't like to do more than 2 a week. A lot of people have mixed feelings about that because a lot of people feel like they want to be in front of the unit, smell it, see it, that you can like really, really see. I like to be at home and I like to dissect the picture and really look at it closely. And I don't like the pressure of being in front of, the unit with a bunch of people and everybody kind of, shouting and the last minute excitement feeling. I don't like that. I like to just take my time and decide. So that's what I like to do. I like to do online. I have done live, but I prefer online. What about you, George?
For me, the very first unit that I ever got was online. It was filled with household goods, and there was even a sword in it. And then Jeremy's bought a couple of online units, but we prefer live. I prefer live. It's just a little bit more exciting. You have to like really think on your feet and be able to make a decision right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think smell is so important when getting a unit, because online you can't smell it. And a lot of these units smell horrible.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that true?
See, I've never had that. I've never experienced that. Maybe it depends on the
Maybe
area.
it's an Ohio thing. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Maybe.
don't know, but I agree. Sometimes it's like, whoa.
I also try to bid on a lot of units that are air-conditioned buildings because I feel like
Like
people
climate controlled. Yeah.
climate controlled, because I feel like people that pay that extra money for climate control storage
Take
have
care of their
nicer
stuff. Yeah.
things that are being stored in there than if someone's putting their stuff in an outdoor unit. So, that's something to think about too. So,
Mhm.
yeah. All right. And go ahead.
All right. I think, well, Justin does all the bidding. But I really like whenever I can go with him to the live auctions, just because I think it's a lot of fun. But I can see pros and cons to both of them, and watching him bid on things, because on the online units, like you said, you can really dissect the pictures and really kind of make almost a more informed decision, because at the live auction you gotta make a decision so fast on whether or not you're going to bid on that and how much you're going to bid on it. So I think there's we kind of have a good mixture of both, and I think there's a oh, thanks, Justin.
I know, I just saw that. Thank you so much, Justin. Times Fines just gave me a super chat, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I like them both, but I like the fun of going to the live auctions.
You do. Have you ever bid on an auction? Have you ever stepped forward and actually bid?
No,
That's gonna be your next milestone. He's gonna
I'll bid for him online. Yes, that's true. I have bid for him online before, but I'm always talking to him saying, okay, Max, tell me what to bid, that's thing.
Let's make that part of your New Year's resolution to bid on a unit on your own.
Yeah.
That's true. I actually thought about that this week. I thought maybe I should actually try to bid on my own unit. But
can I interrupt and just say thank you to T, my wonderful auctioneer. She just gave me a $2 super chat. You guys, thank you so much. And and now a $10 super chat. Thank you, T. You're so awesome. Thank you. So yeah, it must be nice. I don't have that kind of support. I'm like, sometimes I'm like walking around the house with my phone saying to my kids, do you like this? Do you think I should bet on this? Like, I'm asking the kids. Can't ask my husband. Like, I have to like sometimes say to him, oh, I'm just going to do an errand. And I'm really going to empty out a storage unit. Donna, go ahead.
Well, I like going live. I mean, I've looked at online auctions. Usually when Jack's looking at them, he's like, hey, take a look, and we'll look, and it's exciting. But I actually love to bid on lockers. I love to buy them. I love getting in the action with everyone there. It's the social part. So for me, that's where I thrive, and I think it's super fun. So I'm actually usually when I go with Jack, he says, "Oh, you bid," and I like bidding. So
you do. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oops, who did we lose?
Liz.
Oh, Liz is fine.
Uh-oh. Okay.
All right. So I personally don't actually do any of the bidding, just kind of like Gina, but I do enjoy going to the live auctions only because it's like the camaraderie of people, everyone's getting all into it. Everyone's kind of not yelling, but just, you can just feel the testosterone in the air. Like they want the unit. Yeah. And although I don't do any of the bidding, I mean, it's still great atmosphere to be around. I mean, we've done a few of the online auctions, but we've had a incident where one of them it was open before we got there. So those ones are hit and miss for us. We like the live ones if we can.
If we didn't do live, we wouldn't have met, right?
Exactly. And I'm so thankful. Look at this. We're networking now with a group of ladies who have a like mind. It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Who's your friend behind you?
You see what's going on?
Just there, he's here just holding it down.
Security.
Huh? What does he say? Hold on.
There's a super chat war going on in the thing.
James, at first it was a wave, now it's a war.
I love it.
It's turned into a war, I think. James, thank you for the super chat. And T, honey, I don't think you're gonna be able to crush Justin.
So I read the super chat in Arnold's voice. I will crush you, Justin.
Justin, thank you. He's like, oh, really? And Fat Man the Flipper comes in with another $5. I wish I had a fist pump or something. What can I have? Here, this is what I'll do. Here. Thank you. And Robin, thank you so much. And Bolo buddies, oh my gosh, you guys are incredible. Oh my God, there's so many super chats
you guys are amazing.
Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. I gotta take a picture of this. Honestly, like I am like totally taking a picture of this and I'm posting this. And like
Melissa just said super chat's gone wild.
I know.
Super chat's gone wild, ladies. Oh my gosh, look at this. Noelle in California.
Noelle.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you guys. Oh my gosh, you're like making me teary-eyed. I don't want to look like a pussy, but thank you. That's so sweet of you. Holy cow. I gotta get that one in there too. I've never seen the chat so colorful ever in my life.
It's like a Christmas tree lighting up.
I know, my gosh, it's so beautiful. Okay. So, here's a question, ladies. Here's a question. Oh, wait a minute, Lizzie, you didn't answer, did you? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Guys hear?
I'm sorry.
Can you guys hear me?
It's really, really faint, but we can hear you. It's really faint. Maybe you can move closer to the computer or to
I'll also go get my earpiece.
your earbud.
But I do like the live auctions. It's so much fun, and usually there's so much drama, and it's like it's never a dull moment.
Drama. Oh.
Right.
So,
Amen. Yes.
That is for sure.
The online auctions, they're okay, but then you clean them out, and you're like, I love the live auctions. They're so much fun.
For sure.
Huh. Maybe I should start doing that again. It's been so long. I was going to go to one this week, and then I just got so busy. And it was canceled. It was canceled. It's rescheduled for the 28th. So I have to remember. Yeah, it was canceled. So, okay. Here's a question for you ladies. When you are videotaping, or your husband's videotaping, or you're videotaping, or a friend of yours is videotaping, and you're at the storage facility, do you take time to put on some lipstick and fix your hair? And like before you go there, like, do you make sure that you have on something nice? Because you're going to be on YouTube. So I'll answer first. I don't put on anything nice. I look like a ragamuffin. Sometimes my hair is like up in just a crazy messy ponytail, no makeup, no lipstick. I'm usually doing the emptying and the videotaping. I have my friend Dolores who helps me a lot, and she videotapes. Or I bring one of the kids and they videotape while I'm at the storage unit. So I'm still kind of a rookie when it comes to that stuff, but I don't do anything with myself. I don't fix myself up. Once in a while, I'll grab my lipstick, and maybe put on some quick lipstick before the red lipstick. And did everybody notice that George is wearing red lipstick tonight? Ooh, look at her red lipstick.
And Chapo has on some as
Yeah,
well.
She
Mine's
got my
red. It's the closest I can do.
Tina's always got a shade of red on too.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love wearing red lipstick. It's my favorite.
No.
All right.
So I wear red lipstick tonight just for Donna.
Thank you, George.
Our
I corrupted her. Yes. She sent me the shirt. I love my shirt. I'll be wearing it in my next storage unit video for sure. Unemployed. Woo-hoo.
I'm always wearing just like a basic t-shirt or a hoodie, depending on the weather. And then in the wintertime, I'll layer up and wear jeans and like work boots. Necessities are work gloves. And then I never leave the house without eyeliner. Lipstick, I usually do either chapstick or nudes, but never leave the house without eyeliner.
Yeah.
And my hair, sometimes I'll leave the house with my hair wet. So I don't really care what my hair looks like, as long as I have eyeliner on for the camera. Because without it, I look so tired.
Yeah, people, if you don't wear eyeliner, people will say to you, do you feel okay?
What's wrong? Are you sick?
Are you sick?
feeling
It's true.
I don't really do anything specific. I don't think. I mean, I went through a whole phase where I stopped wearing makeup to work altogether, and then I decided I should just put my makeup on every day because I just feel better in general if I feel like I look okay. So, but other than that, I mean, the job is so demanding as far as moving around, picking things up, and whatever. And so we wear t-shirts and hoodies every day, and so that's all that I'm in any video. And my hair is always in a bun just because it's so long. It's not worth trying to fix it and then be out in the heat because it's usually hot in Texas. I mean, we'll have the cold months, but it's not worth trying to do anything to my hair. So it's just always in a bun and t-shirts. So
Comfort. It's all about comfort.
2 buns.
oh yeah, Justin said Chapo has me beat with 2 buns.
They're so
Double the
cute.
fun. No.
All about comfort.
Yeah.
Lizzie, go ahead, honey.
if I don't get myself together, Alex will make sure he records me. So I do try to, do something decent with my hair. I do like carrying around mascara and chapstick because I feel like when he records me, like my lips are the driest. It's like so like
prepared. I love it.
yeah.
She keeps it handy.
So I try to keep at least like a good normalcy to keeping it together, but nothing much than that. But just doing my hair and keeping my lips moisturized.
It's important.
How about you, Jana?
For me, I am not I'm a pretty low maintenance person as far as getting ready. But if I know I'm going to be filmed that day, I do say like, is my hair washed? Does it look okay? And then like, for me, it's lipstick. I'm not a real big makeup person, but I got to have the lipstick on. So I always have my lipstick handy. Even before we record, I'm kind of funny. I'm like, oh, I got to put my lipstick on. And then, but overall, I usually go to the gym before if I meet Jack at auctions. So I'm always usually wearing workout clothes or like sweatshirts and my athletic wear, just because it is easy. If we go to do anything, it's more comfortable. I'm a total like casual person. I'm not a dressy person. So if I have like, different tennis shoes, I'll wear every day, but it's pretty much athletic wear for me.
Yeah. Comfort.
Yeah. And then in Ohio, we kind of just have to dress for the weather. So, I mean, one day we can have a really beautiful day, and then by the afternoon, it's raining and cold. So I tend to layer up, and then that way I can take off the layers as I go versus being cold, especially in the wintertime. I would say my go-to items, I'm going to have to agree with Liz, is chapstick right now because I need my lips to be moisturized, or else I feel weird. Like my lips get dry and it's just not okay with me. And I always have to have a bandana. Now, normally it would be a headband, but my head is so tiny that they slip back. These ones I can tie into place, and I know my hair is going to stay off my face because that's the worst. I mean, honestly, with camera, we kind of just film, so you kind of get what you get, and then I just hope that there's like nothing on my face or like anything too like gritty for the camera. And even if there is, you just do with confidence, and then people will be like, "Oh yeah, she meant for that piece of scruff to be there. She was totally confident about it." Yes, I was.
Yeah, I don't edit any of my videos because I don't have time. I just don't have time. So I just upload raw footage. Like I don't even like if I move the camera around or if you see the side of my face or something, it stays in the video. And I've decided that I'm just going to keep my videos like that all the time. I'm never going to have time to edit them. I mean, maybe someday I'll hire someone to edit them, but I hate that part of it. I don't like to edit, so I'm not going to even. I'm just not going to do it. I just, upload them. So I get what you mean. Like you get what you get and you don't have any regrets. How's that saying go, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
My boyfriend already loves me anyway, so he knows what I look like.
I like that. That's good.
Mama G has a question in the chat. She said, Donatella, will this be an ongoing thing? We hope for it to be an ongoing thing. Right now, it's just going to be once a month because we all have such busy schedules, and especially with the holidays coming, everybody's so busy. But starting, I don't know if we'll do December. Maybe we'll take December off, but maybe at the first of the year, we're going to do rotating channels. We're going to rotate this. Once a month to different road. And if it goes well and we get a really good response, maybe we'll do it twice a month. If we can, fit it into the schedule and everybody can fit it in, maybe we'll do it just like twice a month. But yeah, that's what we're shooting for, right, guys? That's what we're hoping for.
Well, we have 90s on right now, so that's awesome. Thanks everyone.
Yeah, 90s is good. 90s good. Thank you. So, okay, so we talked about, and everybody in the chat, if anybody has a question that you want me to ask the girls, the ladies, you put it in, which is some question marks, and I'll be happy to ask the question. So we talked about ourselves when we go to storage units, like what we do to prepare ourselves. So I'm curious what you guys bring to a storage. You can tell I'm getting comfortable now because I'm sitting back. Do you notice? I'm like sitting back and getting comfortable. It's like 24 minutes into the chat. And it's like, okay, like in the beginning, we were all like so uptight, like, okay. Now it's like, okay, let's sit back and relax. Okay. Don't forget, you guys, I am like meeting a lot of these ladies. I don't know them. Like, I don't know them at all. So I'm meeting a lot of these girls. Like, you guys are going to get to know them at the same time that I am. Like, we're all going to get to know each other at like the same rate because, yeah, it's really awesome. Okay, so my next question is, what do you bring when you go to empty out a storage unit or help your husbands empty out a storage unit? And I'll go first. I can tell you what I bring. The first thing that I bring, which to me is like the most important thing, and when I watch other people doing their storage unit unboxings at their storage facilities, I'm like, dude, bring a table. I have a small folding table. It's not one of the big ones. It's just a small one. And it's really lightweight. I throw that in the truck and I bring that, set that up, and that's where my boxes go. I'm not like on the floor bending over. I mean, once in a while I'll forget a box. I'll forget the table and I'll use a box, put the boxes on top of the box. I'm not like bending over because my back is like done just from lifting the stuff that I have to lift to haul away. The last thing I want to do is, for the sake of a video, be bending over and unboxing stuff. So I bring a table. I have a series of locks that I bring with me. I have the round locks for the round lock storage facilities, and then I have the padlocks for the padlock. So I always make sure I have my locks. I usually bring a first aid kit because I've gotten cut, friends have gotten cut. I always bring a bottle of water, fresh water, just in case, not just for drinking, but for like first aid reasons. And then box cutter, of course, always. Gloves are always. People will see me sometimes doing a video and I won't be wearing any gloves. And sometimes I'll just go pay for the unit, put the lock on it. But like my curiosity gets to me and I'm like pulling out the boxes and like peeking in the boxes. And people will leave comments in the chat like, put your gloves on, But when I'm really heavy duty going into it, we wear gloves, but we've been guilty of not wearing gloves, me or whoever's helping me. So yeah, those are some of the necessities that I bring with me. What about you, George?
We always bring a cooler. So Jeremy likes his Crystal Light. I just like plain water. The only way he'll drink water is mixing Crystal Light packets in them. We always bring padlocks. We always bring a first aid kit. We have a trailer, a 20-foot trailer, and there's a broom in there. There's garbage bags in there. There's extra gloves in there. There's always a sledgehammer with us.
Yes.
Necessity. And then, you never know when you need to break into a safe.
Exactly.
For live auctions, typically it's all cash. So we'll bring cash with us in our IDs. And then, did I mention garbage bags?
Yes.
You did.
Yeah.
You actually took all my answers. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we never leave the house without our cell phones because we record on the cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. And I forgot to add that I bring storage buckets. You can, in some of my videos, you'll see because I sort at the facility. I get rid of what I don't want to get rid of. I only pick the very best of the best. That goes into my storage bins and everything gets checked because I run my business out of my 2-car garage. I don't have a facility, so I don't like to bring boxes with possible critters, mice or cockroaches, or you guys know what we find in storage units, into my home. So everything that comes back to my house, it's always like already been sorted through. I line up the buckets and I put all of the things in the buckets. The trash goes in big contractor bags. So yeah, those things are in the broom. Yeah, that's a necessity too.
Yeah, having a table helps because sometimes we'll film at the facility and it's nice like propping it up or like sorting too if we have time. Some of the facilities will want you to get it out that day and immediately before you get locked behind the gate. So we'll just usually load up the trailer and then sort at the warehouse on the table.
Yeah, so you've got the warehouse. Yeah, I have to bring everything home, so I don't have a warehouse. Not
I
yet.
think George pretty well covered almost everything. The only other thing is always put the tripod, so when we film, we have that for the camera.
That's a necessity too.
Tripod? I need to get one of those. Yeah, I need to get. And do you guys all use your phones?
Yeah, we use Jack's phone. He's got the new phone, so that works great.
Debbie says, George, you forgot the knives. Yes, we always bring.
Always have knives. Yes.
Yeah.
And Gina, do you bring about like the same kind of stuff that was mentioned?
Well, because we have a team of people that work for us, we kind of have our items divvied up between different people. My responsibility is always getting the money that we need to purchase the units, and Justin needs to have the locks. And then our team that comes and helps us clean out, they're responsible for getting the dollies, the trash bags, the tubs that we use to sort, like straps and the brooms and all that stuff. But if y'all haven't noticed that sometimes Grimes Finds is mass chaos and we end up without everything that we need. So
I just want to say thank you to T, my auctioneer. I don't know if she hit on a scratch ticket tonight or what the deal is, but she is like super chatting me like crazy. And she's wondering if you've ever had a buyer's remorse and just didn't go to pick up the unit. Can't do that. If you do that, you will get reported to, like, for example, with me, it's Storage Treasures. And I won't be able to buy online anymore if you get reported for not picking up a unit. Constant tobacco. Can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't do that. And as far as live auctions, I think you have to pay right then and there, don't you guys? When you're at a live auction,
Yeah.
I mean they
if
take
you don't
your.
clean it up, you're not going to get to buy any more lockers there, so it's not a bright idea.
Yeah, you won't be invited back to buy any more lockers. So, or they just won't. You have to register when you walk onto the property to bid.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah.
Did you did your camera just do a cartwheel?
It did. It was like a full 360.
I don't think it was her camera.
I had to put my phone
she
on
did the
charge.
cartwheel.
I can't believe it's dying. But we've been recording all day, so that's the reason.
There's like no volume though, Lizzie. You gotta do something about your volume. It's so hard to hear you. Yeah.
I can't hear Donna.
Yeah.
I can hear all of us.
I
We have
I can hear everybody. Yep, I can hear everybody.
Well, two things. We have over 100 people in the chat, so that's super awesome. Thanks, everybody.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
On the panel.
Yeah, and because she said, how nervous were you ladies before you went live tonight? So I think that's a great, quick question we could all answer.
I was super nervous. I mean, I go live like so many times a week. I do live. I do Saturday and Sunday morning coffee with T and Donna at 9 a.m. on her channel. So we go live then, and then I have 3, sometimes 4 auctions a week, and I'm live then. And it's like so easy to go on my lives. But tonight, maybe it was because I just don't really know you guys yet. Like I was super, super nervous. I'll admit it. I was.
What about you, George?
The very first live Jeremy and I ever did together was December 2nd. So it's been almost a year and I still get nervous. Not as bad as I used to though.
Gina, do you love the camera? How do you feel?
Oh, I don't feel like I get nervous. Yeah. I don't know why. I've heard y'all talk about getting nervous, and I'm like, maybe I should get nervous. I don't know.
That's so sweet.
You say your calm self. That's good.
Yeah, I'm a very calm person. So maybe I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's very, very sweet.
Anyone
Lizzie,
else?
what about you?
Liz, what about you?
I think I get slightly nervous, but I think the people around me make me even more nervous. Like Alex, for sure. he's a big stress ball. So I'm just there all calm and he's like freaking out. I'm like, calm down.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you psych yourself out, you're gonna be nervous, and it's just kind of just going with the flow. I think that's the biggest thing, is just going with the flow.
Yeah. Choppa, what about you?
Yeah, I was definitely nervous. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, you never know what your forehead's going to look like, for example, for me. So that makes me even more nervous. Like,
It looks great.
am I going to get the camera right? Am I going to sit up straight enough? My first live, I was like slouched over the whole time. I was like, great.
Isn't that funny though? I remember the first time we went live, I'm so busy watching myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, I look ridiculous faces. And then you're just so distracted by yourself. You're like, oh my. And then you're like, okay, you just gotta relax, because otherwise you just get mesmerized with how distracting you could be. So, but the more you do it, I think the easier it is.
Sometimes I'm like, what angle do I like on my face?
Yeah, totally right. Maybe I'll move around. And then you're like,
deflated. One of my buns was deflated for a moment. I was like, hold on, I got to picture it. It was like,
Have any of you ladies, are any of you ladies guilty of going back and watching your own replay to see how you did?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I do that. I do that.
So
I
I'm
do
not
that.
the only one.
And then I usually go, never mind, I'm done. And then just a few minutes in, it's over now. Everybody's seen it. Just forget it.
I do it in an effort to see if there's areas that I can improve on. But it's hard to improve on your personality. Like your personality is your personality. Like you can't change your personality like as much as you want to. I remember I was doing like a little premiere of an auction that I was having, and I was stuck on the word quantity. I was doing a premiere, like I was doing a recording of what I was going to be bringing to auction, and I said, and I kept saying, I have a quantity of these items, and then I'm like, no, and then I would re-record it and say, I have a quantity. No, it's quantity. No, it's quantity. No, it's quantity. And I kept like re-recording, and I was like, how do I say this word? Is it quantity, which is the way I say it, or is it quantity? And so that was like one of those moments where I went back and I was watching my video, and I'm like, I need to I don't know what to do with this. I went with quantity.
Well, I think that's the cool thing though, really though, is everyone has their quirks and their ways of being. And I think that's what people can relate to and they really like, because it makes us relatable. I mean, we're all different and we all have different things, and it's not really about perfecting that, but it's just about, communicating who we are and sharing, because I think people like you just being real for who you are,
Yeah, I agree. So, so I don't know. Did you notice any more questions in the chat? I don't really see.
I saw one question. She asked if any of us could outwork our men. I think it was Myra. What was her name? Myra Elaine.
Nice.
She asked if any of us could outwork our men. Oh yeah, which one of you ladies can out-haul and outwork your men?
Not out-haul, but I'll outwork him.
Outwork him. Yeah,
I raised my hand, but I could never do the work that my husband does. My husband's a general contractor, and he works with heavy equipment, and he does like huge demo jobs, and I could never do his work. I could never ever do his work. So, but if we're talking like storage unit buying, yeah, I can't even answer that question, because he only helps me when the big red truck, which is the truck that I bring to do my storage units. It's just a big Ford diesel 250, has to pull a trailer. I can't drive the truck with the big hydraulic trailer behind it. It's just, unless I can go straight. But if I have to take any corners or if I have to back it up, it's just the trailer's way too big, way too heavy, and way too big. I don't trust myself. Like the force that you can feel with the trailer on the truck, it's like driving a completely different truck. Yeah, so that's when I bring him. I have to say, pretty please. I have to bring him out I have to take him out for sushi.
What about you, George?
I'm not hearing Jana.
Jeremy's like twice my size, so I try to keep up with him, but there's times where I can't. Like he's stronger than I am, so I try to help out as much as I can, at least like 50% of the haul. But I'm not going to say that I can run circles around him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gina, what about you?
Yeah, well, of course, I always try to help, but like I am probably one of the weakest people in the world. I can't even. There's some boxes I'm just like, can you lift that for me because I can't. So, but I do. Whenever I read that question, I actually thought about our employee Katie, and I know a couple of y'all have met Katie before. She doesn't outwork Justin. Nobody outworks Justin because he is just on another level. But she all the guys that work for us.
Yeah.
Until she gets to the ramp and needs help to pull up the refrigerator or something. But she can outwork all of them.
Yeah.
So
what about you, Chuck?
Do you know what? I'm gonna have to agree with the rest of the ladies because I need Guapo for some of that heavy lifting because I'll lift something. And then if I have to make this sound too much, I have to put it back down and wait for him because I'm going to go for it. I'm a go-getter. But there's a certain point where I'm like, I don't want to break my shoulder blade in the process of lifting this box. Yeah. So you got to find your you know what I mean? Your happy medium because you don't want to overdo it and hurt yourself, but you also don't want to, you know what I mean? It's we're only team. It's just him and I. So we don't have that luxury yet of having extra help. So right now it's like I have no other choice but to pick up this heavy box because I know that he's going to be lifting most of the weight of this oven that we have to put into the storage truck. So I'm like, well, I could do these 50 boxes versus, I don't know. I just pick and choose what I can lift. It's too much.
That's why.
Yeah.
It's awesome. My husband is the hardest worker I know. I mean, he does not ever stop and he hustles so hard. I mean, it amazes me. So, but yes, when I am working with him, I try to keep up with him. He can definitely pick up things way heavier, but like I'm super competitive. So like today we were at the dump and we're unloading and I'm like, I'm going to see if I can unload more boxes than him. And he's like throwing them off and I'm like, I'm going to throw them faster. And I just, I'm like in my mind, I'm going to beat him and I'm going to unload this trailer faster than him. That's just like my personality. So like I always want to try to keep up and do as best I can. But I mean, let's face it, he just outworks me in that way. It just no matter how I try to keep up. So.
That's awesome.
They've been to throw him in, right, ladies? Because some days,
yeah.
No, I definitely learned to take it easy because if I don't, I'll totally pick up something and then the next morning my back's out. So yeah, I just do what I can and then leave the heavy stuff for him.
Yeah, that's the advice I'm going to give all of you. Like, you save your back because I'm the oldest one in the group, and once you get to be my age, your back just can't handle it anymore. So a lot of the times I will try to stay away from units that have like large pieces of furniture or appliances. I won't bid on those types of units. I try to stay with the smalls because I don't want to have to deal with having to move big items. So when I do, sometimes you end up finding a surprise of a washer and dryer inside of a unit buried under a bunch of stuff. So what I usually do in that case is I immediately drag it out, and usually with indoor units where I am, you get 72 hours to clean out a unit. So as soon as that lock pops up, and if I see that there's appliances in there or furniture, I take a picture of it and I immediately post it on the Facebook Marketplace for super, super cheap, like an incredible deal, so that it sells immediately and people are coming like that afternoon to come and get it, or that next morning, and I'll only sell it like you need to come today. It's $25, you need to come today. So they're basically giving me money to get the stuff out of the storage unit because I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to move it. I don't want to put it on the truck. I don't want to put it on a dolly. I just want them to come and get it.
So Flippin' Crazy asked a question, like 3 questions in one, and I know you wanted me to read some questions. So one of them was, what's the most you paid for a unit, and what is the biggest profit off one item in a unit? So I don't know if anyone knows that off the top of their heads. And then the other one was, what's the grossest thing you've ever found in a unit? So if anyone wants to answer any of those questions, those are all really good questions. Thanks, Flippin' Crazy.
Okay. Want me to go first?
Sure.
So the most I've paid for a unit is $680. And the grossest thing that I have found in the unit is there's been a lot of really gross things. We find a lot of really gross things in storage units, a lot of really gross things. Probably the grossest was, and it wasn't the actual item, but it was the quantity of items. It was teeth, human teeth, but I still have them.
What?
That would be disturbing as well.
I still have them. I looked them up on eBay, and there's actually a market for them.
Yeah, there is.
I don't know what people do with human teeth. But,
there's a market for teeth, and then they put it in a ring. Like, so instead of putting a diamond in a setting, they put the teeth in the setting.
Okay. I don't know what they do with them, but there's a market for them. And in one storage unit, I found many, many little camera case containers filled with teeth. Like, I'm talking like probably 6 or 7. These people collected teeth. I don't know why. So that's probably the grossest. And only because like, if I found a little treasure chest with like 2 or 3 teeth in it, like molars, like little kids' molars or something, that wouldn't gross me out. The quantity of them is what grossed me out. So the money, the grossest, and what was the other question?
What was the most you paid, you answered for, and what is the biggest profit off one item from a unit?
That I can't answer.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one because probably my rock and roll unit that I found like hundreds of concert t-shirts and rock and roll t-shirts. I sold one t-shirt, I think, for $260, maybe $70 for a rock and roll t-shirt, like a vintage rock and roll concert t-shirt. So yeah, those are my answers.
Cool. George, what about you?
So one of the first ever safes that I busted into with Jeremy, we found like a orange container, like one of those medicine bottles with toenail clippings.
Oh my God.
That
is the teeth.
We have found human teeth with like cavities still in them. Human teeth, like adult teeth. We've found there's actually a market for dentures.
Oh yeah, I've sold dentures.
So we found dentures with food still in them. Another gross thing is the presents that the little critters leave.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Gross. You mean like mouse droppings?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or like dead mice.
Oh yeah, we had plenty of those.
Pretty gross.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The most.
I'm sorry. I just for interrupting you, Pat D's. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And T, you need to stop. No.
He is very generous this evening.
I know. She must have she had to have hit the lottery or something. She's so generous. She's so generous. Thank you. I'm sorry, George, for interrupting you. Go ahead.
The most that we've ever paid for a unit was $2,200 with the moose head. And if anyone knows that there is a huge market for taxidermy animals, and the moose head itself can sell for $3,000 or more. And then the biggest profit off of one item, that's hard to answer too, because there's so many.
I know.
But Jeremy and I did do like a Restore to Love auction for the Restore to Love movement. And we auctioned off his beat up work hoodie. And then that sold for $14,900, close to $15,000.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is just so crazy.
That's awesome.
But it went towards a good cause.
What did you pay for the unit with the Harley Davidson? Does he say? I don't know if that's a personal
So
question.
the one with the vintage Harley was actually split with Second Sense, the channel Second Sense. He's Rob is an Cleveland auctioneer, and he also has an auction house. So
Yeah.
which is why Jeremy agreed to go half on the unit. We paid a little under $900 for it, and then we
that's
sold
great.
the motorcycle sold to the American Pickers team for $7,500.
Yeah, I would say that was a good
Yeah.
profit right there.
It's more. Someone offered us more, but we're like, it's a little bit more. It's a better story, a more fun story to be able to meet Mike Wolf and to sell it to his team.
Side
So
note,
that was
what you
exciting.
like in person is what I'd like to know. Come on.
He
give
seems
me
so down to earth. And then
Okay.
his employee, Joey, who looks just like him with a beard, he was so down to earth as well.
I love his show.
Yeah.
He's one of my faves. What about you, Gina?
Well, the most we've ever spent on a unit was $3,700. But that was a year ago, I think, that we spent that. We don't usually spend that much on a unit. As far as profit, I don't know any one single item that made us the most profit, but we recently bought a unit for $1,700. I think we did about 4 videos over the whole thing, but we were able to turn that around through our online auction and then selling the records back to the owner of the unit. We made $20,000 off of that.
Wow, that's a great investment.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, so that was an excellent unit. And then as far as the grossest thing, I mean, we found all the same things that y'all found in units. We found
the toenail clippings, though, George. Oh my gosh, that must have been
in a safe.
in a safe. They're really concerned about those toenail clippings.
That is like so crazy. And you know, you have to really look at everything, because like just yesterday there was a bottle of I shook it. It was a bottle of Bear aspirin, and I shook it and it sounded like Bear aspirin inside, but I'm like, what if it's all diamonds and not Bear aspirin? So you have to really open everything, because
you have to go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, because people hide things in the craziest places.
And we actually had one unit where it was all trash bags. And whoever owned the unit was keeping old food in the trash bags.
Oh, I hate that.
And but also putting good items in the trash bag with the old food. So he went through every single piece of every piece of trash.
Dementia. It's probably dementia. Yeah.
Yeah, we found bullets. We actually found money. But it was disgusting.
Yeah, that's like early onset dementia. They do stuff like that. That's so sad. Those are the ones that you really, really have to look like every nook and cranny. I had a unit like that too. I did a video on it. It was my hoarder's unit. It took us like 5 days because we went through everything. So, okay.
Papa, what about you?
I mean, I don't do a lot of the buying. I know just recently our largest purchase was the $1,900 unit. We also did like a few videos on that as well. We found like an amazing die cast collection. To say like what our largest profit is, like, I don't know. In comparison, not much, but I mean, we sold this. We didn't even know we had this ice machine in one of the units. It was kind of like tucked away, and we ended up getting $600 for a unit that we ended up paying $50 for. So, I mean, it's all about getting units for a decent price and making the highest profit on. So maybe, we'll get there. We're going to find that special unit. But I would say the grossest thing, oh gosh, we were in Cleveland. We were rifling through bags. You know how you guys load up stuff sometimes when it's an inside unit, and then you come back in and then you start doing the whole process. We came back and the smell in the air had just changed, like just terrible. We just upset something. We found out, like Gina said, it was an old bag of onions that the old, person who had the unit left in there. It had, oh gosh, you guys know what things do when they get old, especially food. I don't need to go in detail, but it was a smell that made us leave like right away. Like no Febreze, no candle warmer was gonna change that smell. I had to go. And I was getting hungry too, so it was perfect timing, to be honest. So yeah, you find really gross stuff in units. It's not pretty. That's why it's best just to go grimy and not grimy, but just getting ready to get grimy, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna find some stuff on the floor you didn't want to touch, and then it's just nasty. Yeah, it's just nasty.
Yeah.
We make it glamorous.
Oh yeah, for sure. For me, the grossest thing I've ever found, that's a long list because everything grosses me out. So between crusty critters, like yesterday we had like skeletons of mice randomly throughout the locker that you were like almost stepping on, to fluids, to personal hygiene things I've never wanted to see for anyone I love, let alone a stranger. So you name it, we've seen it, from the grossest possible. The most I've ever paid for a unit was $1,100. And the most I've ever made on an item was I bought a locker for $5, and it was mid-century furniture. And I think I made $1,600 on the locker, but $800 just on a set of dressers.
Wow, awesome.
I'm pretty sure I watched that video, actually. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, your daughter's wearing it. I'm pretty sure. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
All right, Lizzie.
I would have to say the most expensive unit was probably around $7,000.
Whoa!
But it was a really good unit. It definitely paid, so I was happy that that worked out. The grossest thing is probably the same as you guys, like dead rats and things like that. But for me was a used feminine napkin in a purse.
In the purse.
That's pretty high up on the old list.
Wait. I missed that. I missed it. Repeat it. My kids were walking through the house.
A personal hygiene item that had been used, like a woman's feminine protection that had been used, or
You found that in the storage unit?
So yeah, we were
that wins the
recording,
grossest.
and
yeah,
baby Davis found it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
winner, chicken dinner. That's you, Liz. You did.
Oh my gosh.
Why in the purse? I know. Oh, just like, let me save this for later. Like, what?
Totally.
Oh my god.
So weird. It's so weird. It's so
So
weird.
people are just so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
But I mean,
And
the
then-
unit definitely it was gross. The unit was gross. And then to find that, it was just like the frosting on the cupcake. It's like, thank you.
Thank you for confirming how grossed out I felt. Thank you.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, so gross.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
It's just surprising to me, like the stuff that I don't understand, like why people pay such good money to store certain things that I find in storage units. It's just so weird.
It's
Yeah,
mental.
Yeah, it's mental. A lot
I
of
mean,
them
I'm not
are
trying to be
mental.
mean, but like we've been going through a locker for 2 days, and like you actually start to like, I feel like you're doing a community service work, because
Yeah.
like at the end you're like, you're paying $350 a month. I mean, it's actually sad. Like the lady was telling me, she was paying, they're on Section 8, they're on, they needed assistance. The daughter was giving her whole entire paycheck for her whole 40 hours of work to pay her mom's storage unit, and then we're going through it, and she saved every pair of shoes her kids have probably worn since 1982. Not new shoes, like worn shoes, like anything they've ever had. And you just realize, like, it's really sad because They just can't part with it and they don't have the means for it, but they're actually making themselves like even more poor and not, keeping it. And it breaks your heart, really. You feel good because you're like, I freed them from that. That's actually a good thing.
Right.
You know what? I'm gonna ask. We're just about at an hour, but I am gonna ask, just because of what you just said. I am gonna ask one more question. Um, what unit have you guys gone through, or purchased and gone through, that has been with you and hasn't left you? Meaning, you really profile a storage unit when you buy it. Like, you figure things out. Like, one storage unit I knew was an amputee, that she only had one leg. I knew she was a diabetic because there's so many diabetic things in it. But there was this one unit that stayed with me for a really, really long time. And it really broke my heart. She was a beautiful Italian girl, and she had two biracial children. And in her paperwork, her children had been taken away from her several times by DCF. And she had so many spiritual books, and she kept so many diaries. And my husband happened to be with me during this one, and this is one of the reasons why he's very sensitive. He doesn't like doing the work. He sat like at the pickup truck and was reading some of her journals, and I kept saying, put them down, don't read them, put them down, like, don't go through them. And he was reading out loud, and she was writing in her journals things like, God, why did you give me these children? I'm not a good mom. My mom was not a good mom to me. Now I'm not a good mom to them. Like, reading stuff like that in the journals. And so she was in jail. She had gone to jail. So what I did was I took 3 boxes, and I filled one box with a bunch of her personal stuff, and I filled the other 2 boxes. Guys, I'm live. Quiet. Sorry. And I filled the other 2 boxes. I have a house full of teenagers right now, like full of teenagers, like all around me. And the other 2 boxes were for her, both her children, a little boy and a little girl, and I put as many toys as I could in there. Their coloring books, their backpacks, their dolls, their puzzles, their crayons, and taped it all up, and gave it back to the facility and said that it was all personal paperwork that needed to go back to her, in hopes that they don't open it up and see that they were filled with toys. It stuck with me. It has still stuck with me for so long. I felt so bad for that woman. She tried so many times to get her act together, like so many times, and just couldn't do it. She just couldn't do it. What about you, George? Do you have one?
We find paperwork all the time in the units, but I haven't read anything that's like hit me hard. Working in healthcare, I come across a lot of working with a lot of mental patients and hearing a lot of stories. I think when I read stuff like that, it
affects you.
It's gotten to the point where it doesn't affect me because I'm so used to it.
Oh, it doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have to say, one time we actually never posted the video. I'm because for privacy, honestly, because when you do something good, I don't always think it needs to require a video. And there was actually a gentleman who was homeless, and we purchased the unit as if we were gonna, do our normal thing. And then once we heard the backstory on it, we actually gave the unit back to the guy who was homeless. We talked to the manager, got something going to where the gentleman could keep his items. And we ended up losing out on money. But we didn't do a video about it, but that's just like how everyone else is saying, like, you get touched by people and you feel for them, because we've all had a moment in our lives where we were just down in the dumps and we just needed that extra support and someone that says, you know what, I'm going to be here for you because I can see no one else is here for you right now. And that's something we did. That sticks with us. I mean, and that was a good unit. You could tell that we were going to find some good stuff in there, but in my heart, it was almost like when we stepped past the door, the air changed, and I don't know, something about it.
That's
just couldn't
awesome.
do it. We just couldn't do it. It wasn't worth it.
So for me, there's plenty. To be honest, I'm totally a sensitive person, and like I've cried so many times when I read things and letters. It breaks my heart when I see kids going through things, and just the struggle. So many addictions that people struggle with, and you just see a thread. You see a thread of court dates, divorce, addictions, and drugs and alcohol, and it's really sad. But I would say. The drama too, like the diaries I've read. Like today, I read something from a little kid that he wrote or yesterday to his parents about his parents and how they met, and it was like so disturbing. But it was almost. It's just still. It's hard. That part's hard for me because I'm really sensitive, and just having 5 kids, I have a heart for any kid. Like if a kid is suffering, I'm like, let's adopt them and bring them to our home.
I know. Yeah, I'm the same way. I have 4, so I'm the same way.
Really, really hard for me, and that part sometimes I just don't want to know. But you just really realize how many people are hurting, and it kind of makes you be like, I just want to be kinder even to other people more because you don't know everyone's story you come across every day.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Like I always say, kindness is free. Don't cost you anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a tough business. It's really a tough business. Like you have to have some pretty thick skin going through these units and seeing people's lives, like you said, like and discovering all of their, what got them to that point where they lost everything. I hate finding the court documents and the one that I bought yesterday, the guy, he'd been arrested so many times for defaulting on child support. And now he just lost his storage unit. He lost everything. I mean, the poor guy, he tried so many times to get himself out of trouble, his bills, bondsman papers, and everything else, but just couldn't. Whatever he was doing, drugs. He was doing drugs. Whatever he was doing, he just couldn't manage it. Liz, what about you?
None that actually stick with me, but I do, kind of here and there, read certain things, and just, I'm in awe by the crazy memories that we go through, and just people's lives they're intimate to them, but to us, it's just something that we have to kind of, just basically go through and call another day. Just like Kaylin said, it is some of those units where you do stop and you kind of, well, let me give some of these items back because, I feel like they should have old pictures and things of that sort. But like I said, it's just crazy that we do go through so many memories, and they're lost if we don't give them back.
Right. Well, on that note, I'm sorry we're kind of leaving the show on like a downer. I wanted to leave it on a upper.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Gina has to hop off because they're doing a premiere at 9.
But yeah, we're gonna hop off. But you know what? It's the reality of storage unit buying, you guys. You get your ups and you get your downs, and just like this show, we had our ups and we had our downs, and that's just exactly the way it is with storage unit buying. But yeah, so I want to just thank everybody for coming, and thank everybody in the chat. And I want to thank everybody for the super chats. Thank you so much for being here for us, and I had a really great time, and I look forward to doing this again. And we will announce where the next show will be and when it will be. And ladies, thank you.
Thank you so much for
coming
hosting.
on.
Thank you for having
I really
us.
appreciate it. And yeah, take care. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.